Keith checks in with a producer letter. PvP's season 12 starts and stops again. The Mandalorian drops, and we dive into the Corellia Flashpoint. These topics and more coming up on this episode of the Escape Podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic. Our broadcast astromech today is EPC 317. And playing alongside me is Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going?
Oh, it's going really well. So well. We had such a great day today. We're recording on Tuesday, so we just got done with our MFN, and we had a special Mandalorian night. So everyone dressed up in Mandalorian outfits, and oh my gosh, it was awesome. And yes, and then and we're gonna talk more about that when we get to community news. But that was our MFN. We also went and killed some world bosses, including the Avon Walker, because we had a bunch of people tonight. So we haven't done that in a long time. That was pretty entertaining. And me personally in SWTOR, I started up a new character this weekend because,
Yeah.
who doesn't need a new character?
Yeah, and you were like leveling the hell out of it.
Yes, right. Because here's why. So first of all, it was a Nautilin because we were rolled a Nautilin.
Okay.
But at some point, I got it into my head that I wanted this character to meet Conquest's personal goal and
Okay.
I target, and I realized I could because you can get the points from doing the heroic on Nar Shaddaa,
Right.
and you can get points for Nar Shaddaa Rampage, and those were kind of in reach, right?
All you gotta do is level up to the Nar Shaddaa level.
So I was doing crafting inventor, right, by making the low level biochem stuff.
Okay.
And bounty contract, right? Because bounty contract you can do one on Hutta.
Oh,
even.
Right. And Dromakas, yeah.
And Dromakas, right? So I did, I went the first day and tried to do the heroic on Nar Shaddaa, and she was the Nautilin was like level, I want to say 12, and the mobs were like level 25, so that did not work. I mean, I got quite a ways into it because there's so many people doing them that the mobs were not there, and I was just clicking on things. But then the part where you go in the instance and it's all on you, I'm like, oh, no, they killed me. But the next day I was like 10 levels higher. And it worked just fine. And yeah, all those things together. And she did make her personal conquest target. I had already made it on 3, regular characters. So yeah, conquest, leveling, gearing, a couple master mode flashpoints on my Merc. Yeah. And then the Mandalorian. So yes, it's a good week. How about you, Max?
I am so into well, I guess all things Star Wars, but so into SWTOR right now. This gear grind has got me hooked in like a really good way. You get hooked on a game and you get into whatever grind or leveling or whatever, and it gets really fun. It sort of hits that dopamine. They get that dopamine drip going, and you're just like
It's fun to get upgrades.
you're pushing the lever and getting the pellets. And I went so far with the gear grind that I was pugging master mode flashpoints. I did 2 of them. I pugged 2 of them last night so I could finish the master mode weekly, because you get a whole bunch of boxes for that, and if you do 1 per day, you get a whole bunch of boxes for that. I'm still was slacking a little bit, and I'm going to be traveling for work again this week, so I know I'm not gonna finish what I wanted to. But I am well, this is wrong. Oh, because my weapons. I have my pretty weapons, not my leveled up weapons. I am at 300, item rating 300. Check that out. What do you think of them apples?
Nice.
So I've got only a couple pieces that have 298 mods left, and then I got my first 302 piece last night running those Master Mode flashpoints. This is it's fun. And I've been saving all these gold boxes. So I've got the conquest reward boxes and
And when you say gold boxes, those are the ones you start getting when you're
No,
on
no,
gear level 300
no,
or
it's they're called like large box or whatever, and they just have, for whatever reason, they have a gold border, and it, when you hit your personal target, or yeah, when you hit your personal target on conquest, you get one, and then when the
okay.
guild hits the weekly target, if you log in on
I've been
Tuesday, you get
getting
another
them. I
one.
just didn't notice that they were gold.
So your renowned ones are like these smallish crates. The ones for the Mech Shah heroics are like a different, they look more impressive, but it's still a purple bounded box. But these ones, for whatever reason, I decided. Medulla told me some strategy that he was saving all of these until he got closer to 306 for some reason. So I've been doing it, and I don't know exactly why, but I've been doing that. And I've been also been doing the dailies, like I told you, Seema. You want to do the 6 daily on Onderon, and you certainly want to do the weekly on Onderon because you get a nice bunch of stuff for doing the weekly, and you want to do the 2 heroics on Mech Shah. So I've been doing that on quite a few characters as
I did the
well.
heroics on Hada.
Well, that's not going to get you anything. And in order to do those heroics, though, the Onderon and the Mech Shah, you have to have completed the story. So I've been pushing a bunch of characters to 75 and
Yeah.
pushing a bunch of characters to the story. And because we switch off weeks and we do a week of Republic and a week of Imperial, I now have 9 characters at 75. Not all of them are through the story, but most of them are, or a good third of them are.
When you say through the story, do you mean spacebar?
Yeah, yeah, and but you
Yeah.
also have to finish the Corellia Flashpoint solo. You have
Right.
to get done, and then as soon as you get done with the story, basically with the Corellia Flashpoint solo, a thing will pop in your log that tells you to go back to Mech Shah mission board and go back to Andron mission board. You'll get both of those.
I have a tip, by the way, for the solo flashpoint.
Oh yes, do tell.
It's a tip for me. It's a tip that I pretty much think everyone already knew, but it's put your companion on healing spec.
Well, I'm a DPS and not a healer, so I've always sort of done that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a tip for anyone else but me, because I don't think anybody else ever goes and does this stuff in healing spec. They just go DPS. But even though I was in healing spec, to put my companion on healing just made it trivial again. It's like having a combat droid. Yes, it takes me longer to kill things than if I were to bother to change all my buttons and change specs, and but at least I didn't get ganked by
Yeah,
the bosses in there.
I was distracted. Zen says each GSF match drops a blue equipment box. I thought the GSF matches only dropped a, a crafting materials box and not an equipment box. So you saying, like I could be getting 300, 302 gear box after every GSF match if I was doing GSF right now? That's interesting to know. I'm going to have to follow up with Zen on that and maybe be running a little bit more GSF as well. That's what I've been doing though. And 9 characters at 75. Maybe it's not as many as Keith, who's all of his are 306 also, and we're going to hear about that in a second. But let's hear about that when we get into the news, which is here.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
First up in the news, if you qualified in either category for the first week of rewards where you felt like you should have been getting a guild reward. Remember they did that weird thing where they
Mm-hmm.
changed the guild target when the 6.0 was launching, so some people weren't getting it, and your guild was gonna have to hit the new target and not the old target. That's not all completely worked out. If you think you should have gotten the reward and didn't, check that post from Eric. They're asking you to submit a ticket to customer service. Customer service will look up if you met the reward categories and will get you your rewards. So there.
Also, I guess my turn now. Also, there was a post this week from Keith Koenig, who's the producer of our game that we're playing here. And basically, updating us on what's coming up soon. And he started out by saying, it's been no fun for Tulak Horde server the week leading up to that. So he kind of took that bull by the horns. And I actually think it's fixed now, though, hopefully. But he also said that he'd been playing. He has several characters at 75, and he has his gear level up to 306, which I do not. I'm proud of my 292. I'm really proud of my 292.
I'm happy that I'm at 300 and it's turning gold colored rims on my gear pieces.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, I'm glad my gear pieces are purple, man. That's my color.
I get gold bars coming out of stuff when I kill it in flashpoints now. So that feels pretty
Well,
good.
there you go.
There you go.
That is pretty rewarding. They're fixing several bugs, and that's an ongoing process. He also said that there's a patch upcoming, probably in mid-December, 6.0.2, which will be the last update for 2019. Life Day is returning, as we probably would have foreseen.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have new items.
Yeah.
It's SWTOR's eighth anniversary. So there's going to be some new items associated with that.
Yeah, I was trying to remember. I'm getting disconnected. Trying to remember where that stuff comes from. The vendor is on the fleet, and what we usually get is you can go there and you get an anniversary portrait, a picture decoration to hang on the wall. Now I remember that. So it's on the fleet. It's in one of the quadrants, but it's sort of on the inside ring, and you'll want to go there because it's basically if it's like for 1 credit, and you can buy a whole bunch of stuff for the anniversary stuff that's on that vendor.
Also, he says you'll be able to recruit Theron for your consular, which you see him in the story if you have not played the story. So he shows up and he's exactly the way I remember him.
Yeah, which I got side story on Theron
That's
Cedrax.
all right.
I don't know why I completely didn't get what was going on. So it's Theron Cedrax. It's just Theron Cedrax. For some reason, I thought I didn't get the joke about his name spelled the dumb way. I thought it was like a different Theron Cedrax. I thought it was like a different Theron Cedrax.
That's Occam's
his
razor
name
right there.
Spelled the wrong way, like they were like twins that were separated or something, and one was Theron and one was Theron. I didn't get he was talking about Theron Sean. So I posted in our stupid Discord in our spoilers channel. I'm like, what is the deal? I didn't get that joke.
Why did they make a second Theron Cedrax? That makes no sense.
Why didn't they just give us the regular Theron Cedrax back? Duh. All right. So apparently we're going to be able to recruit Theron Cedrax, the one and only Theron Cedrax, and that makes sense. So great.
Yeah. So there is that. That's a plus. I wonder if he still. No, he probably doesn't.
Wait, did you skip over the new heroics?
I did. I didn't mean to, but they're blacked out with yellow.
They're blacked out with yellow. They're blacked out with highlighter. That's not.
We're adding. Okay, there's going to be new missions on Mechsha, including new heroics.
New heroics.
I haven't done the existing heroics,
but they're good. I'm telling you, that's why I'm excited, because you want the new heroic. You want to do heroics on Mechsha. You're supposed to do heroics.
Well, there's someone in the chat who's really happy about getting Theron back, so that's awesome.
I like Theron. Theron's good, and his CC when he does his CC ability is Holiday pops out.
Yeah, but I'm wondering
if it's still going to be Holiday.
Yeah, we'll see. Since all the companions are kind of normalized to each other now.
Yeah, but all of them have some sort of CC.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he'll have a CC.
If its ability, it'll be the same. But yeah, I was excited about new additional heroics on Mechsha because I've been doing them and I like them. I like the Junker Jot ones, although it's a lot. That one's sort of a long one. The Jedi Infiltrator one is short compared to the other one, but they're both kind of fun to do, especially solo because they're kind of hard. So I find it satisfying, and then you get a purple gearbox out of it.
I know. I know. I should.
Sorry, I derailed in the middle. So then we get Theron.
That's all
We
right.
get Theron, the only one and only Theron Zedrax. And what else?
We're also looking forward to Rank Season 12 beginning
Right.
for real.
Right. Which next up in the news, we'll talk about Broken Season 12.
And then the winners from the last season will get their rewards.
Right.
Also, they are
patch.
starting. This next thing is also blacked out with highlighter. That there's going to be that they're working on crafting changes. They did do some tweaking since the most recent crafting, how it was on the PTS, based on feedback and a lot of things. So it has been tweaked already, but they're going to tweak it some more. So that's actually inspiring me not to make a lot of the newest stuff. Just kind of holding on to my mats, what mats I have for now. I mean, I'm not like a super, Trace Comas crafter anyway.
Well, in
I'll
particular,
just wait for those changes.
I'm holding off on what I started to do, which was crafting and deconstructing to get the schematic upgrades. And because that's quite expensive to do, and we know people that have spent like 500 million credits trying to get like the augment schematics, the purple augment schematics, and then there's the gold augment or the gold stem schematics, the reusable stems. All of that is super expensive because it's lower and lower reverse engineer, learn the schematic rates as you go up those tiers.
Right.
So I'm stopping. I'm not gonna do that grind because this'll be out relatively soon. I'll just continue to collect materials and just keep on keeping on until that happens.
And then the last thing of note from his post was, and I really like seeing this, but Celebration is planned for August next year in Anaheim, and he just commented that they're already making their plans to be there. So I don't know. I just like every evidence, that they are looking ahead, and that's not that far ahead as far as things go. But I just like that, and it's good that they're going to be there.
Right, and I will be there. So that's a thing.
You will?
I will. I already have my ticket. I believe.
Awesome.
Yeah, I do. I did. I do, right? I'm almost positive. I think I do, and I think I have a hotel room. I'll look that up when we are done talking. Season 12 accidentally started today, and then they took the servers down this afternoon to stop it. It was not supposed to start. You did not get the rewards. You're not getting the rewards now. Those are coming out when 6.0.2 drops. It was an accident. Oops, and they backed that out. So there you go. Oh, this is a good one. This is why I gave this to you, Seema, and I will bring up a picture. What's next?
Oh, we're getting a pet.
We
Yay!
are.
And it's a tie-in with the launch of Fallen Order, which is a Star Wars game.
It is.
So in honor of that game, if you log in at all during the launch, the first 2 weeks of the launch, you get this pet. And Max is showing a picture now. It is, it's adorable, and it's like Pixar adorable. I really like it.
It's very Pixar-esque. It's a fun little droid pet that you use in Fallen Order. It's a key mechanic in how you play the game, and the fact that it's a tie-in and they were allowed to do it for one. I'm sure they had to get some sort of approval, and it's just I wish there was more of this kind of stuff, and I'm glad that I hope this is the start of more of this kind of thing.
Yes,
this is a
I do
great
too. I do too.
And it elevates SWTOR in being a thing. And Fallen Order can then say, thank you, SWTOR. What an awesome game, and we should support them back. And everybody, all rising tide floats all boats. So that's really cool.
So worth repeating, to get this pet, all you have to do is log in between November 14th and December 10th.
Yeah. Do it.
So pay
Do
attention
it.
to the calendar.
In community news, few bits of community news this week. There will be a mega on Friday night. I think I will not be back in time. My flight is going to be getting in quite late on Friday, so unfortunately I'm going to miss it. It's going to be a bunch of Onslaught stuff. So I'll get in late. I will log on and I will say hi as everybody's wrapping up for the evening, but that sounds fun.
Yeah, so also we wanted to talk a little bit about Mando Night we had tonight, which I think Max is going to show some pictures possibly, because
There's
he took a bunch of
one.
pictures, and he was like that wedding photographer that's like, stand here, no, not there, stand over here,
It's
put your
hard.
pets
It's hard
away,
to get
don't
good
jump
pictures.
up and
And because
down.
everybody's like
I
shooting off
know.
abilities and like heals, and they put up a big shield and I can't see
They
anything
were
through the
helping.
shield, and they got these pets like flying in front of everybody's faces.
That's why I thought it was hilarious, because I didn't have to do it.
I'm like, just can you stop it. In fact, I
Yeah,
have
there's a picture of everyone dressed up as Mandalorians. It was so colorful and so
yeah,
much fun. It was
this is the
great.
best one right here. I cranked
I
up the
think
saturation a little bit and the brightness. This is when we were just about to fight the Yavin, the
I
world boss
mean,
on Yavin.
I think in our future we should do similar things, like have a um a Sith Inquisitor night and do it on
Ooh,
Oricon or something.
good idea.
Yeah,
These
just
are good ideas. You should be a guild leader. You should run our SWTOR guild. In fact, done.
oh, be quiet.
But yeah,
In
look at
fact,
this.
what?
Look at all these Mandos. This is so cool. And everybody's armor is slightly different. Everybody's armor is colored differently. This just turned out great. This was so fun.
And when I did my armor,
Makes me want to make some
I
armor.
actually I was shopping and I found this armor because I really liked it. But I went back and read that SWTOR.com blog about the guy who was designing the armor and talking about the armor of the Indigo team
Mm-hmm.
on Mech Shah. And one of the things he said was that um, when they design characters, if the character is going to do combat, their outfits affect what they do in combat. And like this outfit that I have that I'm wearing has like spikes on one shoulder. So he called that out and he said we definitely would give that character some kind of a, shoulder attack where
Mm.
they bump
Yeah.
someone their shoulder.
Oh,
And then
yeah,
also I
because
have a
your armor
shiv in my
is
boot.
spiky.
Yeah. I also have a shiv in my boot, and he says like we definitely would give them some kind of an operative type attack where you can hit someone with your knife. And
Ah,
I'm like, oh, I
yeah,
thought that
yeah,
was so
yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Look at Seema's
So
all
anyway,
loaded for bear. Look at those spikes on her
yep.
shoulder. Punch those right into your
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
And then you've got that tube coming into your mask, so then you would like go underwater and look for fish in the middle of the fight.
And I shopped for a long time with dye. For me, looking at dyes is really a black hole, but I did dye that, even though that's close to the original color of the set, but I did dye it.
Your turtle is very interested in your armor as well. This is
Yes.
super cool. Also in community news, boy, we're babbling here, aren't we? Also in community news, there's a new ops team that has started on Sunday nights. They're relatively fresh. They're going to be starting through story modes. They're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. It's called I don't know what it stands for, but the acronym, which is how we start. We name our ops teams by thinking up an awesome acronym and then reverse engineer what that acronym, create a backronym out of it. So TACO, the TACO team is on Sunday nights. TACO, Tactical Advantage Clearing Operations or something like that. They need a DPS.
We'll come up with something.
So they have one spot open. I think Melung, one of our officers, is filling in for them until they get that spot filled. But they have a spot open for a permanent DPS member on Sunday nights. If you'd like to join that team, talk to Albus in our guild Discord, or just ask in our guild Discord in the SWTOR channel, and we'll get you connected if you want to join an ops team there. And what else did we do tonight? Why do we have a party beach here?
We had a party, not only a Mando party, but it was also a birthday party for a guildie of ours, Thon, who his sons also play with the guild, so that they sponsored the birthday party. They got in contact with Max. And they said, "Could we do this?" And so I thought that was really cool. They wanted us to wish happy birthday to their dad, so we did that, and we got him very lavish presents too.
Yes. So Thon has over 1 billion credits. So I got him a bone trophy, a lucky coin, uh, some sort of sandwich. I forgot even what kind of sandwich it was.
It wasn't a Rhodian mayo
It was
sandwich
not a
though.
Rhodian mayo sandwich.
It was a infected dewback sandwich. No.
And a little balloon, a formal balloon pet, toy pet toy thing.
But that lucky coin, that's the real gift
It
right
is. I still have a collection of lucky coins, but I
know you do.
am careful with them, and I do not give them away lightly. So he got one of my lucky coins. Also, and we've been talking about this the last few weeks, we're almost positive it's going to be starting next week. Likely on Thursday next week. We're going to probably do the podcast on Thursday again next week. Back to our normal Thursday day, because now I know we're doing it on Tuesday this week because I have some more work travel. We're going to start up that 1 billion credit challenge contest. So Preferred Till New Ops is his name in it's Sakic in our guild, but that's his name on Reddit. You can look that up. They've done it in the past. Bad Feeling Podcast has mostly run this contest in the past. Brian and Bad Feeling may help run it as well, or we may just do it depending on what we need to do. Just get it kicked off. We're going to work on putting the finalizing the challenge, because now all of the guilds are sort of together enough where we're starting to see Duxons to be run, and it will be a challenge associated with killing bosses in Duxon and sending screenshots of the bosses you killed, and that getting you entries into a drawing to win 1 billion credits, which is pretty amazing that that Sakic does that. And he's done that for the past few expansions, which is really cool. And finally, shout out to the chat room. Thank you, all of you, for helping us out, answering some questions, helping us check and make sure our audio is all set before the show, and all the things you do to make it fun for us to be doing this, and fun for us to be doing it live, which
right.
it
You
would
keep
not
us going,
be
man.
nearly as fun. And then now I'm going to play this drop-in, which has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about tonight, but I just want to play it anyway because it's so awesome.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession. Would you agree?
So that is just from the trailer, but it sounds really cool. Werner Herzog. Bounty hunting is a complicated profession. Would you agree? Isn't it? Actually, he says that at 2 different times in the dialogue. But anyway, that kicks off our segment, giving Meridian some latitude. We're not really giving it latitude. In fact, we're going to hold it to the highest standards. But I just loved the play on Meridian, which is actually a line of longitude and not latitude. But I thought it was clever, so that's why I named the podcast that.
It works on so many levels, Max.
Objective Meridian is the name of the flashpoint. That's the formal name of the flashpoint. I call it the Corellia flashpoint. The place that you are assaulting is the Meridian Complex, which I think is also a cool name. But we didn't really get to that in the story when we broke down the story and did our spoiler podcast last week. So go back to hear everything that led up to this. So I wanted to show it off a little bit, talk about the fights, talk about the flashpoint, and it's not a guide. We're not going to be doing a guide here, but I wanted to break it down a little bit and talk about whether we like it or not, because I think that's worth talking about as well. So let's do that. Let's break it down. I'm gonna have our video playing some as well. So this was me going through it over the weekend on my Sork. And I made my UI really small, so you can still see some of the stuff of the UI. But I wanted to remind myself and even track down what some of the fights were, what they looked like. I'll play this. I've got a great link to a YouTube video In fact, I should give credit to this person. Menelamdir, Menelamdir on YouTube has a really nice walkthrough on the Republic side because it's different between the two sides. So we'll talk about what those differences are as well. And so yeah, let's break it down. So I'm sure you've done it a few times, Seema. First impressions, second impressions. What is your impression of the Flashpoint from a story mode perspective? Because we walked into it.
I've done
Did
it.
you walk into it with me? You, me, and Corley,
I've
and we did it. We did it as a 4-man and vet mode. Also,
Did we?
I did.
Oh my gosh.
I think you
What did I
did.
have for breakfast today?
No, I think it was like a week and a half ago.
I did the solo mode exactly 2 times. Once on the imp side and once on the pub side. Because
Okay.
my other characters that I've leveled to 75, of which there have been a prodigious number so far, I got them to 75 and then I went to the next character. And of course you get to 75 long before you finish the story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intending to go back on those characters.
Right, because you'll want to
it.
go back and do the flashpoints so that you can do the dailies that I keep telling you to do.
Well,
Because there's
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's the ticket. I've done it a bunch of times because I'm trying to do it for the dailies. I like it. I think it's. I like it. I like it. How about you? Do you like it? Let me just before I tell you why I like it.
Well, once I
just
figured
as a
out
flashpoint.
my super valuable tip, I liked it.
Put your companion on heels, and everything goes a lot easier.
Yes. Yeah. And of course, I know I've said this a million times before, but I like Major Henri, so that's entertaining for me. I like Tao and Arn also, but Henri to me is just the most natural sounding, sort of, I don't know, casual humor, but also very military type.
I feel bad.
I don't know.
Didn't
I
take
like
her
her.
up on her little challenge. I sort of blew her off on. I was like, I don't want to get involved in that. I don't know why. She asks you to. They like bet who's going to have the highest kill count by the end. Why did I not take her up on that? That's like the whole Gimli versus Legolas battle. Gimli kills the big elephant, and Legolas says, "That only counts as one." And they I'm on 13. That's hilarious. So I should have done that. But yeah, you're right. She's great. When you do it in story mode on the Imperial side, you do most of it with Henri as your companion, although you do switch over to Malgus later. And when you do it on the Republic side, you do it with Tau and Arn both as your companions all the way through to the end, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is.
I like the whole Flashpoint because it's relatively straightforward and linear. It's not like a maze. You're not like running back and forth, or you're like doing an assault. You're assaulting the yard and the lead up to the compound and then to that huge tower. So this is a giant tower that's specially designed to be building ships, and it sort of builds it in tiers up this tower, which is kind of cool. So you assault your way through the compound to the tower, and then the tower has sort of 3 tiers, 3 levels, and you work your way up those levels, and you get to the top, and there's a big battle at the top.
I thought it was a really good balance of like story and trash and boss.
Yeah.
For me, like I'm happy that there weren't like corridor after corridor of robot troopers.
Right. And there's a bunch of trash that you can just skip too, which
yeah,
cool. I mean, there's a bunch you have to kill, but it's not too bad. Look at my Sork. The AOE on my Sork is just so big compared to what you can do on a. It just like fills up the whole screen. My AOE, I could just like AOE the whole Flashpoint at once. Wow. Anyway, this opening scene reminds me of a conversation I had with Jackie Chow. So here, back it up just a little bit. Here we're in the drop ships. We're coming in. I had a conversation at the last Cantina event in New York with Jackie Chow, the designer who designed this Flashpoint. And he said one of the things. So if you remember when they were showing the preview of what's going on, they had sort of that scene, that painted scene of
Yeah,
the
of
assault.
Corellia.
The other
Yeah.
thing he said is here with like all the ships flying in and a bunch of guns and battle and like assaulting this beach. He said he sort of drew on inspiration from Saving Private Ryan, is one movie, and the Tom Cruise movie Edge of Tomorrow. So I don't know if anyone, it's a lesser known movie, but it's really good. So, in fact, after I had that conversation with Jackie, I went and I watched Edge of Tomorrow, which I had not done before, and I liked the movie. It's a think of like,
Groundhog Day, but with death.
yeah, Groundhog Day, but with aliens invading the Earth, and you're a military force that has to fight them, and it's Groundhog Day. But
I mean, not that there's no death, and there is death in Groundhog Day, but yeah, more death.
but it only resets the day when you die, in Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
But this fly in, I'm getting what I'm smelling what he's cooking, and after having seen that and seeing this the cutscene and the cinematic and the assault the beach. And so when you kick it off, you're on the beach, this beachhead. You've dropped in. You see soldiers like dying and dropping here around you, and you basically have to quickly get off the beach because you're being bombarded. So there's these giant yellow circles until you get up on and start fighting the trash up at the top of the ramp there. You got to keep moving, otherwise you get killed by the nuke. Is nuking you from orbit there with those big yellow circles on the ground. So interesting kickoff, interesting start, interesting assault. The two stories sort of dovetail again. They sort of are staggered. The Imperial story is happening before the Republic story. The Imperial story, you're coming into the base, you're assaulting the compound, and you're basically invading. When you get here on the Republic side, this has already happened. The Imperial side has already happened, and the Imperials have sort of like locked down the base, and we're trying to get to the top so that we can. Whatever we're doing, we're blowing up the base. I think, yeah, we're going to shut down the shield so we can bomb the base. On the Republic side, that's already locked down, and you're assaulting it to kick the Imperials back out. So great.
Right.
So let's fast forward a little bit. You fight your way through. You go through the compound a little bit. There's big trash packs that you can walk right past. Like here's a big one, and it's like all these guys. Oh well, now I'm just gonna see ya. I'm just gonna go over here to the side. There's trash packs you can't get around, like this trash pack, and it's big groups. So what do they got? 8 people in this pack, all kind of spread out. No match for the radius of my lightning storm, but kill them all pretty quick. Nothing too hard, especially in story mode. And then there's like more ramps, more trash packs, but you can jump over this thing and you can get around them. So you're just winding your way through. You're getting through to 2 fights before you start going up the spire. So 2 of the main boss fights happen before you get up the spire. The first one is a robot fight. So it's this big droid fight. And it's slightly different between the Republic side and the Imperial side. So, do you remember this fight, Seema? It's not too hard. It's just a bunch of circles on the ground.
Oh yeah, I remember
And
it.
again,
Yeah.
did you do this? I swear you did this with us, and we did it as a
Yeah, I
4-person
might
group.
have. Yeah.
Because we were talking about the
Yeah.
big blue towers that come up at the end, and we had to at least clear one out or clear both of them out. It wasn't hard doing it in vet mode. It seems like it
Where's
is
your companion right
quite difficult. She's probably standing up above because I jumped down.
now?
No, there she is.
Yes.
She came right
I
down.
mean, I always look for them whenever I do a big jump
Yeah,
or something like that.
that's
I
a good
always.
plan. So there's a little bit of trash here on the side. It's not very tough, and it's peripheral to the fight, but you do want to clear it out before you shoot the boss. So this is the R10X6 droid on the Imperial side that you're fighting, which is it's a Republic defense droid. You clear out these turrets, you clear the soldiers, you fight the droid. Don't stand in the fire. Don't stand in the the big blue circles that it drops on the ground. You just keep running around. So there's a big circle. Get out of that. It's bombarding. It's going to drop some fire. Don't stand in that. Or does it drop fire? Or is it just the blue? No, is it just the blue circles? Maybe it doesn't have fire on the Imperial side. Maybe the fire is just on the Republic side. But it's a couple phases. Nothing too tough. You fight it, you kill it, and you move on. Then you fight a little bit more on the lead up to the compound. It says you are continuing your approach towards the monorail loading area. There's these patches of fire on the ground and more packs of mobs. There's a couple places where you can actually walk through the fire, and there's to sort of get around some of the trash. And there's a couple places where if you go right into the heart of the fire, it kills you. So be careful of the fire. You can go through the edges of the fire, but if you go sort of right directly into the middle of the fire, which of course I did. I sort of stood in the middle of the fire. It will kill you, so don't do that. But trash. And before you get to the monorail, the elevator that's going to take you into the tower, then you have another boss fight. So there's really only 3 major boss fights. Yeah, so it's trash, droid fight, trash, boss fight before you go up the tower. Tower level 1, tower level 2, talk to Theron Cedrax, get to the top, 3rd and final boss fight. There is a bonus boss that you can go fight, and it seems quite difficult. I've watched some video of it being done on master mode. It seems quite challenging. So something to look forward to and get and build up again. But here's the second fight. So the second fight is different between the Republic and the Imperial side. In the Imperial side, you're fighting 2 Jedi. One Jedi is a counselor. One Jedi is a guardian. Marauderish guardian. 2 lightsabers. The consular-ish Jedi does a lot of like force projection at you, and he also does a little bit of healing. So I killed that one first. Then the Marauderish one is running around. He's punching Henri in the face with his 2 lightsabers, but she can take it because she's tough. Not too difficult. Obviously, in story mode, nothing's going to be difficult, but it doesn't seem like that crazy of a fight regardless. Again, slightly different in Republic side. So on the Republic side, let me see. I think I even have, I can show it to you on this guy's video. At about 30 minutes in, it's just a single guy you're fighting instead of 2, but then he calls a bunch of ads throughout the fight, which these guys do not. So I thought that was interesting. I always think it's interesting. What did you think of, I mean, you don't really notice, but you have 2 companions when you're doing all of this on the, how did that feel? I kind of, it seems fine. I like it. I think it's kind of cool to have
Yeah,
multiple
I
companions.
appreciated it actually. I thought it was a good touch because, yeah, I was glad to see them both there.
There are a couple points in some of the Kotet chapters, I believe, where you even have more than 2 companions,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah, there are.
They should allow you to have multiple companions out and do like operations with just you and your companions. It's like
And I'm a firm
story mode.
believer that you don't have to have everything exactly the same on 2 sides.
Right.
There's room for variety.
Yeah. So there definitely is. So I'm with that. If there was some sort of competition, and this reminds me of World of Warcraft, where in the what is the name of that operation, the troll operation where you invade the city?
Oh, I know which one you mean, but I don't know. Battle for Dazar'alor?
Dazar'alor, yeah. So in World of Warcraft, the it's very different on the Alliance side versus the Horde side. The battle for Dazar'alor, you sort of start from a different end, and the fights are in a different order, and the boss fights are slightly different. That was a big deal because there's a big tradition in World of Warcraft for world first clears of raids. Nobody's doing world first clears of this Flashpoint though, so Yeah, make it different on either side. That sounds fine, I guess, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm okay with it, even if it makes one side harder or one side easier.
Right.
It's fine. It doesn't have to be
Gives
100%
gives you something
exactly
to complain about when you're on
even.
that side too. So there's that. If it's
Yeah, and I enjoy that.
Imperials have it so easy. Why did they make it? Why did they make it so hard for the Republic side? BioWare, you must compensate me. You give me free. Give me hood toggle. Oh, that reminds me, hood toggle. Remind me to bring up hood toggle when we get to Malgus in a second, because Malgus has hood
Okay.
toggle. Anyway, you fight Commander Aster on the Republic side. You fight the two Jedi on the Imperial side, and it's a fine fight. Nothing too crazy. Then you fight your way a little bit further. You go up the first lift, and you get yourself into the spire proper. The spire proper is made almost. You can almost think of it. You know how like SOA has the 3 levels. It's kind of like
Yeah.
that. So you come in, but
Yeah.
you come in
It
at the
is kind of like
bottom
that.
level. Yeah.
Right.
But
In reverse.
you run around, you clear some trash. You the whole platform is sort of like an elevator that then like takes you up to the next level. You run around a little bit more into the middle level, and who do you meet? This person I've never met before, who has a name very similar to one of the companions we've had in the past. Theron Cedrax. Because he says he spells it different from the other Theron, and I just thought, swore, I don't know why he got so dumb. I'm like, oh, so he's not our Theron Cedrax.
he's
He's like a
he's
different
like his
Theron
evil twin.
Cedrax. Because he sounds just like him too, and he looks like him. They must have been like twins, separated. Maybe we're gonna hear more about this story later, of why he's the Theron and not the Theron Cedrax or whatever his. No, no. So he's talking about Theron. So I don't know where I missed that, but it's our Theron Cedrax. So great, and he's got a little part here. Uh, he's his same old self, being his old self,
That's right.
selfing it up.
He is his same old self, which is, of course, that's
Yeah,
what's endearing about him. Well, if you find him endearing.
I like that little exchange. And on the Imperial side, you talk to him and he says, I'd like to help you, but you gonna have to go upstairs because this is all cut off. The console's disconnected. There's lightsaber burn. One of the soldiers walks up and says, yeah, he's basically corroborating the story. Yep, looks like it's all cut off and there's lightsaber burns. Looks like somebody was whacking on the console. And you find out on the Imperial side that it was Tau Adair, and she's now she did manage to get in here, and she's now defending the last room that you're assaulting. Right, chat room. Where is Holiday? We don't see Holiday here. Who also then you're still here with Henri. You walk up to Theron Cedrax. Malgus catches up with you here and says, "Hey, sounds good. Why don't you and I together? Why don't we go upstairs and we'll go take out Tau?" So you do switch companions here on the Imperial side. How do you like fighting with Malgus as a companion, Seema?
I love it.
He's good.
and he's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of like powerful. And he's got some good moves.
And he should be. He should be. He should be able to just
Right.
not to upset you or anything, but he should be able to just decimate any trash.
Really? Because I'd need him to kill more than 10% of it if we're really going to get through this in any reasonable amount of time. But okay, yes. I can get the rest of them.
Okay, obliterate.
He should
obliterate the trash.
Right.
Yes.
Anyway, one of the things, and I think we're going to see it here in a second, when he joins you as the companion, if you notice in the cutscene, his hood is up. In a second here, you're going to see when this ticks over, when he joins as a companion, his hood is down. Wait, here it goes. Wait, where is he? There, hood down. Confirmed. Malgus has hood toggle. Confirmed. See? Why aren't people like going crazy on the forums? BioWare, apparently you've seen fit to give hood toggle to Malgus, but you still have not provided it for my Jedi character. I need you to provide this now. Also, be sure in the next live stream to say, where is Hood Toggle? Over and
In all
over and
caps, over
over
and
in
over
all
and over again,
caps.
because that has, the highest chance of having some results.
Yeah, but there, Hood Toggle. That's why I zoomed in. I saw that immediately and freaked out. That's why I zoomed in while I was playing through. Anyway, you go upstairs and you fight Tau. And I don't know where Arn is. Look, I'm like zooming in on him because I'm freaking out because his hood is down. So last fight, you go upstairs. Did I already start the fight? You got a little cheesy little bit of a cutscene. Not cheesy. I thought it was fine, but I heard the line coming from a mile away. Malgus here says, "Not a single one of you could defeat me," and boy, that was a terrible Malgus. And then Tau, of course, replies with, "You're not fighting a single one of us. You're fighting all of us." And her whole voiceover throughout the fight is, "We're stronger if we fight together." She keeps yelling that out over and over and over again. Makes you want to shoot her, which I did with lightning. But her fight then is a bunch of ads and her and no Arn. I don't know where Arn is. Why didn't we fight Arn up here? Where did he go? Did he go off to not listen to his master again and do something that he shouldn't be doing, like fight the slavers on Maksha? Probably. But slightly different mechanics from the Republic side. You're fighting Tau. She has got a bunch of knockbacks. I think I saw this being done at least vet mode, if not master mode. She's got a bunch of knockbacks, and she puts these big circles on the ground, which are basically force quakes. And the force quakes stick around, so you can't stand in them. And you end up with a bunch of these giant circles that you need to be a little bit careful with how you're lining them up. You need to be careful not to get knocked off the platform as well. Otherwise, it's then a relatively straightforward fight. She will put a blue circle around around you or one of the players, and then leap to you when that blue circle shows up as well. But here, I just decimated her and just finished this fight quick. On the Republic side, you fight Malgus. Let me go back to that, that's a pretty cool fight. Malgus. So when you get up there on the Republic side, no, that's the very end. Malgus doesn't have any ads. He doesn't have any people standing around him. He's just standing there alone. Malgus has no allies. Malgus needs no allies. Malgus stands alone. I thought that was pretty cool. But because you're fighting with Tau and with Arn, and all three of you are fighting Malgus. So that sort of, again, gave me that view of, yeah, Malgus is a badass. And then what did you think of the ending? The ending is sort of the same on both sides. Whoever
Yeah,
you're
which
fighting.
I thought was clever.
Yeah.
I thought was clever. I mean, I like how Tau says he's, Malgus says something to her like, "You can't win," or "I'm stronger than you," or something, and she says,
"Your death is inevitable."
"Well, how about gravity?"
He says, yeah, your defeat
"Are you
was
stronger than
inevitable."
gravity? And then she
As
pulls
inevitable as gravity? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's what she says. I like Tau. I really like Tau as a character. Not as much as I like Malgus, but that person on this is this video, this guy doing the fight on story mode. He does get knocked off and he has to restart the fight. Different mechanics, slightly different stuff. Here, he's going to get knocked off right here. Right about here. Boom, you get knocked off. Bang, and his screen goes black. And he has to run up from downstairs and start the fight over again. But that also then sets up, now we're getting back to story a little bit, that coming crashing down sets up the epilogue, which we talked about, but we didn't show, which I can actually show here. The epilogue where we find out what happened to Malgus. Oh, here's this scene that I mentioned of my Sork. I don't know what we were talking about during the week. I don't know what choice I made. I didn't pick any dark side choices, but I did something. I think maybe a choice I made early on, or maybe every Sork just does this. But, spoiler for the Sork story here. At the end of my conversation in the throne room, where you do that choice of does the alliance join the Republic or Empire? Does the alliance join the Empire in this case, or do you stay separate? In every case, I've decided to stay separate. What have you done, Seema?
Yeah. No, I stayed separate. Well, yeah, no, I stayed separate.
Yeah, so I like the idea of staying separate, even on the Republic side, even on my trooper, my trooper was the closest to joining up because he's like for the kind of a for the Republic guy, but he still stayed separate. And yeah, I think the idea was it's a brand new chancellor. Let's make sure everything is settled down there. I'm going to keep the alliance on the side for just a bit. Plus, I'm pretty attached to Lana, and telling Lana now you got to be part of the Republic, and I
Okay,
wasn't exactly sure about that yet.
so on my Sork, which I haven't finished playing through the story yet, she's like halfway through. I did, since I had to go back and I hadn't done Osis on her yet. I decided to play the SWTOR storyline,
Oh,
and um, she, yeah, so she sides with the Republic because that's what a saboteur would do, right?
right.
So I do have that. Um, yeah, so I'm looking forward to see how that goes.
So this is Darth Anathel, right? Darth Anathel, in theory, is on your. He's taken your seat on the council. In the lead up, I I sort of talked smack to him in the starting, before either before this yeah, at the very beginning. So this is at the very beginning of the story. Remember at the very beginning of 6.0 when Onslaught launches, you're in that space battle because apparently everyone now is an awesome fighter pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And Malgus calls you up. He says, "Yo, what's up?" Malgus says that. And I said, "What's up?" Uh, anyway, then Malgus says, "Hey, Asina wants to have a chat. She wants to come to the Dark Council. Why don't you come say hi? You have a conversation choice you can make, and you say, 'Are you sure about that?' Your conversation choice, if you pick that, is you say, 'Last time I was at the Dark Council, I left one of them dead. Are you sure you want me to be at the
Yes.
Dark Council?'" When you get to the Dark Council in the beginning, Anathel is there, and you look over at him and you're like, "Buddy, you're sitting in my chair. If I see you in that chair again, you're dead." With whatever conversation choice, and it wasn't dark side choices, but whatever conversation choice I made, that's what I said. That's what I told him. I said, "If I ever see you in that chair again, you're dead." You come back here at the end, you have your little chat with Asina, the council's there. She says, "Okay, everybody else clear out. I need to wrap up some stuff with Max here." And you'll see it here in just a second. Uh, as before everyone leaves, you turn to Anathel and you go, "What did I say to you, buddy? If I see you in that chair again, you're dead." And then you force lightning him and you kill him right there in the middle of the council chamber. Come on. Chat. Yak. Here we go. I'm turning to him. I'm like, what did I tell you? Force lightning, boom. He I mean, he's obviously not very powerful because all it took was just like one force lightning blast, and I leave him laying dead on the floor. And I don't even like join the Empire uh, after this. I don't like join back up and take my seat. I just keep my alliance separate, or maybe now I could be part of the Dark Council. But I just killed a council member right in the middle of right in the middle of the chamber. And Asina's only response is, "Well, that was unnecessary." And then she goes on with what she was going to talk about. I thought that was a little bit dark. It's not something I would normally pick or normally choose to do. Anyway, uh, then the last thing I wanted to show, because we were talking about it before we leave here, was you do then get, and I did record it, you get to talk to Scourge and Kira, who are really cool. You're right. We do need. Somebody tweeted at Charles and copied me because we were talking about it. Said, yeah, it would be great to get a Star Wars novel of Scourge and Kira and what happens and their adventures. And Charles Charles liked the post and he replied back about something like well that's really up to LucasArts, Lucasfilms. We can't really just go and do that. And they replied back, well, get on it, Charles. But yeah, that would be cool. But my favorite part is after you talk to them, then you get the epilogue scene of
Yes.
Malgus strapped to a table. Here we go. Malgus is broken because he got crushed. So he pulls down the ship. He gets crushed in the tower. Tawadera escapes. She gets out. Arn, I don't know what he was doing. He was force lifting, doing a little workout. The doctor and the droid are having a little chat, and the droid says, in fact, I could probably turn on the sound here.
Empress Athena had us double the explosive charges after the Osis mission. It was a real pain to hook up.
Yes, I examined the device after removing it. Highly complex.
You removed it?
So the doctor says, the first thing we should check is the failsafe device. So now you find out what Athena had over Malgus. She had, as she sort of fixed him up or whatever from his fall, when we defeat him the first time in False Emperor, she fixes him up as she has him implanted with a complex explosive device, which is the failsafe, where if you get out of line, Malgus, boom, long walk off a short pier, you're no more, buddy. Get here, the doctor says, what should we check first? You better check that failsafe device. Athena was very clear about that. We doubled the charges, and the droid says, yeah, after I took it out of him, I checked it out, and it is pretty complex. And the doctor starts to freak out. He's like, what do you mean you took it out? What do you mean you yanked it out of him?
It was rendered inoperable.
And she says, well, it was broken anyway. And it wasn't broken from the crushing and the fall. Something else happened. It was like cut open. I don't know.
By a high heat implement.
Oh no.
And as soon as that happens, Malgus gets up off the table and says, give me that droid and a ship. And he ignites his lightsaber and scene.
And scene, right.
And that is Malgus Unleashed. So now he's not under Athena's thumb anymore. He's probably not happy that he ever was. He's always been desiring to reform the Empire in his own image. He is now off the chain, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Same. And he's no hood, as Kelleher points out.
His hood is down. Hood toggle confirmed. Chat room, I do not see all caps. When is hood toggle going to be implemented? Max, ask BioWare about hood toggle. You need to put.
No, you can't. It can't be. It can't be good natured like that. It has to be. Why are you lying about hood toggle in all caps?
Yeah. SWTOR confirmed dead. Hood toggle unable to be implemented 7 years later. You can write that article for MMO magazine or whatever. Yeah, how is hood toggle formed?
It's good toggle formed.
Well done, Zen. Well done.
Good one.
All right, and I think with that we can wrap things up here. Cool flashpoint, cool story. We'll see what happens next. Can't wait. 6.0.2. Loved hearing about that this week.
I wonder if that'll have any story in it.
I wonder if it will too. He did not say that. He didn't even suggest it. So I don't know.
I don't think it will.
I wasn't expecting that it would. In fact, I'm just happy that they're going to be implementing some of the crafting changes and some of the other things they talked about. We'll get to throw snowballs at overheated droids as well. That's always fun. But
I like how the chat room came through for us, and now they're all caps.
There we go. Hashtag hood toggle for the win. Yes.
Hoggle. Hoggle toggle.
Hoggle tud hoggle. So we are done for this episode. Thank you all. With that, we will kick our EPC 317 droid out in airlock to broadcast this podcast to all of you out there. Please keep up with us on Twitter at Max the Gray and at AIESEMA, and you will find out whether the podcast will be on a Tuesday or a Thursday night each week when we tweet it out. Although we often don't do that until moments before the podcast goes live. You never know. It's a mystery.
Yep. We're getting ready to start and we go, oh, wait a minute.
But also what you can find if you follow us there or check out our guild website, aie-guild.org, is how you connect to us, how you can get on our guild Discord, how you can ask us for an AIE invite. We play on Starforge. We have a guild on both the Republic and the Imperial side, and we would love to have you there because that's why we do this podcast. And we will talk to all of you soon.
Later, everyone.